So I wanted to welcome everybody to today's event. IABSE's technical activities. What do the task groups do? And just as a reminder, IABSE's mission is to exchange knowledge and advance the practice of structural engineering worldwide. We have over 2,500 members in 100 countries, and we deal with all aspects of structural engineering, structural materials, and aspects of the construction process. The main activities are conferences and webinars. All our webinars are recorded and accessible via the website and feature prominent engineers from all over the world. There are two conferences per year. One is the IABSE Symposium that usually takes place in the spring. The next one is in Copenhagen, and I invite everyone to attend. The Congress is a larger event and features technical presentations as well as the meetings of the permanent committee, the executive committee, the commissions, and so on. And next year we will be meeting in South Korea. So I warmly invite all of you to attend. IABSE has a number of publications. Obviously, all the members receive the Structural Engineering International Journal, which is published 4 times a year. And in addition, there are special structural engineering documents which deal with a special subject, and other publications dealing with case studies. And in addition, we have the conference proceedings. An important part of our activities is represented by the activities for the young engineers. We have mentorship events as well as special prizes for young engineers who present papers at the congresses and the Young Engineer Colloquia. Today we're going to talk about the technical activities, which are mostly handled through 6 commissions and many task groups under the various commissions. And we're happy to have Niels, the chair of the technical committee, present today what the technical committee does. The USA group of IABSE has a board of directors. I'm the current chair, and here you have the names of the rest of the directors as well as the young engineers representative. And you're welcome to contact any of us at any time if you have questions about our activities. So as I mentioned, today's seminar, we have several speakers. Niels Peter Hawk is going to talk about the technical committee at large. And we have a recorded message from Anna Mandik, the chair of the commission number 1. And we have 6 speakers presenting the activities of the various task groups. In the interest of time, I'll let them introduce themselves very quickly when their time comes and talk about their task group. You all have the program in the literature that was circulated. So without further ado, I'm going to ask Niels Peter to start his presentation. And if you can request access.
I did request now.
Okay. Just 1 second. It doesn't show up for me. So, okay, here we go. There. Are you able to share now?
Yeah. Now I
Okay.
will be here.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, thank you very much, Maria.
Yeah.
I'm Niels Peter Høj. I'm chairman of the technical committee. So I make a quick introduction here to the technical committee. IABSE's objectives and tasks, Maria already mentioned it. First of all, IABSE deals with all aspects of structural engineering, and among others, the objectives of IABSE is to promote cooperation and understanding among all those concerned with structural engineering and related fields by worldwide exchange of knowledge and experience. And that is what we are promoting here today, worldwide exchange of knowledge and experience. IABSE consists of technical groups and non-technical groups. Of course, technical committee is part of the technical groups, and under technical committee there are the commissions and the boards, and under them there are task groups. The non-technical groups, we will not go into detail, but I would just say that they are the executive committee and all these things governing IABSE, but most of all, we have the national groups and mainly also the members. The members is a basis for IABSE. But today we are talking about the technical committee. The technical committee is responsible for the overall technical activities of IABSE. It promotes, coordinates, and assesses the activities of all technical groups, whereas the commissions monitor and coordinate the work done by task groups. So you can see here the commissions. I think Maria also mentioned them. We have 6 commissions, we have 6 boards, and then we also, as part of the technical committee, have some liaisons to joint committees, Joint Committee of Structural Safety and Joint Committee of Globe Consensus, which is dealing with sustainability. Those involved in that, I will not go into detail. As I said already, I'm the chairman, and the vice chair is Maria Gatchabruchki from the USA. So USA is represented here, and then we also have members from all over the world, from the East and from the Americas. It is mainly people from Europe, but also other parts of the world are well represented. We also mentioned what a task group does, but let's just take it up here. Task groups are short-term units targeted for well-defined objectives of typically investigation of technical interest or concern, and the activity must end with a deliverable that is part of the definition. And the short term, which is mentioned, the short term is basically 3 to 4 years. We have some flexibility, but it is the intention it should be concluded within 3 to 4 years. The deliverables we also saw just before partly could be the books, the SED, the case studies, the special publications. It could be special issues, articles in SEI. It could also be other things, contributions to the academy, establishing of databases, and then contributions to the different conferences, workshops, webinars, panel discussions, and arrangement of special sessions, and something like that. That could be the outcome of these task groups that we establish. Then also the on-site events mentioned, the next one in Copenhagen, my home country. So I hope to see many of you there, and then in Korea, in South Korea in the fall. But that was all information. So I was actually here to come with a message, because I just started as a chair of technical committee, and my main goal is, among other things, to attract involvement from high-level experts like yourself, seek truly worldwide participation, in particular with and from the United States, and ensure the integration of young professionals, promote visibility of IABSE's activities and achievements within the international structural engineering society, and also beyond. I think we should be a little bit more open there. We should try to show the world what we can do. It's in particular important to involve the national groups and the individual IABSE members and stimulate international cooperation. I hope that the national groups have good contact with their members, and perhaps also beyond the members of IABSE, so we can draw on experience from their side. And the national groups have already had very interesting technical activities, but they may be continued and expanded to be worldwide exchange of knowledge and experience within the technical activities of IABSE. As a technical committee chair, I would like to extend my invitation to you. If you could see a benefit in bringing this experience into an international forum, you are more than welcome to join technical activities of IABSE. The international IABSE community would appreciate the expansion of interaction with you, the American engineering experts, with the goal of an international exchange. Conversely, experts from other countries will then bring their experience and know-how, and thereby we will all together reach a higher level of engineering knowledge and increase our standing in society. So I would like to see more American experts joining or initiating technical activities, and I'm sure that you will benefit from joining the activities because sharing, learning, and development go hand in hand. So if that has somehow convinced you, so what can you do practically? You could join an existing task group, or you could propose a new task group according to your interest. You could look up in our website or webpage where is the participation from the USA not sufficiently represented, which topic are missing. Is your field of interest, is that not represented? Then it's a good idea to propose it. The initiatives for these task groups, they need to come from the members. The technical committee can support, we can promote the ideas, but the initiative needs to come from the members. It needs to come from you. So I would like to appreciate those from the USA who has already involved themselves in the activities, and those are what the colleagues which I have noted up here, as far as I could see, are the present involved members from the USA in the task groups. But we would be pleased to have much more members from, and also chairs of the task groups from the USA, and also much more ideas fostered among the USA members. I can show you as my last slide. These are all the task groups where we have no members from the USA, and you can see there are some room for improvement, and also, if I may repeat myself once again, some new ideas, some ideas from your side to start a new task group. But that was all for my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Niels. And I don't know if anybody has any questions for him. This would be a good time.
Hello, everyone. I would like to start with a brief introduction. I'm Amanda Chibankovic.
Great. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Faculty of Civil Engineering. Today, I wear several hats in IABSE, serving both as an IABSE Vice President and the Chair of Commission 1. In my home institution for many years, I am the head of the Chair of the Regions and lecturer in charge for several subjects at the Master's Degree program. I'm also Commissioner for European University of Cities and Post-Industrial Transition for my faculty. I want to share today some insights regarding how we connect the crucial work done within IABSE commissions and task groups directly to planned deliverables, and I'll share a bit about my personal journey in that process. Let's start with the commissions. Commissions are the long-term foundational bodies of IABSE. They are designed to encompass a broad range of topics within structural engineering. Their primary role is to organize activities within their defined scope of expertise. Crucially, Commission act as the oversight body. They monitor and coordinate the important technical work done by the task groups. They also maintain the technical pipeline by proposing the creation of new task groups to the technical committee and expanding those that become inactive. Each commission is typically structured around 6 core members plus ex-officio members, who are usually the chairs of the various task groups reporting to them. We currently have 6 core commissions, each focusing on vital aspects of civil engineering. Commission 1, Performance and Requirements, which I currently chair, deals with problems related to structural performance and safety of civil engineering structures. We establish requirements for performance both during design phase and beyond. Our scope includes enhancing design and assessment strategies and supporting decision-making across all structure types. Commission 2, Conceptual Design, focuses on holistic understanding of the design process, integrating social, technical, functional, and aesthetic aspects. Commission 3, Structural Analysis and Evaluation, concentrates on the progress and challenges related to the analysis and evaluation of structures, facilitating the exchange of knowledge among practitioners worldwide. Commission 4, Construction Methods and Processes, aims to contribute to a deeper understanding and best practices in construction methods. Commission 5, Existing Structures, is focused on developing methods and tools for economically efficient, environmentally friendly, and socially acceptable decision-making for any existing structure. Finally, Commission 6, Sustainability, addresses all sustainability aspects, including the framework, design, disaster prevention, construction maintenance, and new materials. As chair of Commission 1, I can give you a closer look at our work. The problems we tackle are wide-ranging. Just look at the scope of our current task groups. We address crucial topics related to hazards, like DG 1.1, improving seismic resilience of reinforced concrete structures, DG 1.2, design of bridges against fire hazards, and DG 1.14, performance-based holistic design concept in fire engineering. We also aim to integrate advanced concepts into technical practice, such as in DG 1.3, calibration of partial safety factors for the assessment of inconvenience, DG 1.4, probabilistic nonlinear finite element modeling, and DG 1.6, benefits of practical application of risk and reliability consideration in structural engineering. We are heavily involved in forward-looking topics, such as those covered with DG 1.7, sustainability-driven bridge engineering for early design phases, and DG 1.8, design requirements for infrastructure resilience. Furthermore, we address critical safety issues like ship collision with bridges in DG 1.13. Our technical scope also requires us to look retrospectively at structural performance, driving performance-based design founded on lessons from bridge failures, this is DG 1.5. Furthermore, we investigate how advanced data can be utilized effectively, exploring in DG 1.10 the utilization of traffic data in research, design, and assessment of bridges. Specialist groups also handle critical geotechnical elements, such as the design and construction of well foundation, DG 1.11, and address specific safety requirements for pedestrian infrastructure detailed in DG 1.15. Regarding footbridge, performance, safety, durability, and reliability. We maintain vital collaboration with external standardization bodies. DG 1.12 is dedicated to liaison with Joint Committee on Structural Safety. Furthermore, recognizing the technical investment is only useful if widely accessible. So DG 1.9 focuses entirely on training and dissemination. For Commission 1, our role isn't just about initiating these groups, it's about active oversight. We monitor the progress of these activities, support and guide DGs in fulfilling their goals, and ensure they reach closure with the expected output. We consider and make decisions on new activities and approve final results before they are presented to the technical committee. The task groups are where the focused technical work happens. Unlike commissions, DGs are short-term units with very well-defined objectives. They are created to investigate a specific technical interest of concern. They can be initiated by the commissions themselves or sometimes by an interested group of members. DGs report directly back to the commission. Their duration is maximum of 4 years, so typically they complete their work in about 2 to 3 years. They have no limitation on the number of members, which allows for broader participation. These groups are action-oriented, and their output ensures IABSE contributes meaningfully to the field. Deliverables can take the form of, for example, a formal publication like a structural engineering document produced by our TG1.1, a workshop like the one we held in cooperation with Joint Committee on Structural Safety, conference special section like the recent one we had at the Tokyo conference. DGs may also produce a special issue for our journal Structural Engineering International, such as the recent one on forensic structural engineering. Increasingly popular format are webinars, and we had several webinars on diverse topics in previous years. For example, this one presented here was dealing with fire in structural engineering. My own involvement with IABSE illustrates these diverse opportunities. I've been an IABSE member since 2010. Year after, I joined the Working Commission 1. Further on, I was the vice chair of Commission 1 before taking the role of chair in 2025. I have also been actively involved in several specific PGs under Commission 1, which are crucial for technical advancement. Some of our joint achievements are here. Papers on round robin modeling of the capacity of standard tones produced in TG 1.4 and investigative party factors for the assessment of bridges as a deliverable of TG 1.3. Below is a report on one joint IABSE and European cost sections workshop, which I have organized in Zagreb, value of structural health monitoring for reliable bridge management. Beyond the commissions, I've had...
John, I think we can stop the recording here as this goes into other activities. If you don't mind.
Served as vice chair from 2017 to 2020.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And so I think we're ready to go into the presentations related to the various task groups. And I would like to introduce Professor Teng Wu from the University of Buffalo to talk about the experience and opportunity that task groups provide. Teng?
Thank you, Maria. I'm trying to share my screen. Can you see the screen?
Yep, we do. Thank you.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Hi everyone. This is Teng Wu, as Maria just introduced, and I'm a civil engineering professor at the University of Buffalo. My background is wind engineering, hurricane hazards, and coastal community resilience. So today, I would like first thanks Maria to coordinate those kind of webinars, which give us an opportunity to share our experience, and also I would say more importantly is the opportunities open to our members about the join the task groups. So my personal experience starting from the task group 6.1, and I joined a couple of years ago, is about the climate change effects on the infrastructure. And the goal at that time of this task group is to characterize not only the severity of the impacts, but also give the recommendations for mitigation and remediation strategies for buildings, bridges, and other civil engineering structures. So I'm quite, I mean, the reason I put those like mission statement objectives is that you may, I mean, the way you see the task group is that you will found those task group on the website and hear from the colleagues and the objective and the mission statements. And while the general goal will not change, I would say it really depends on the individual members. If you are very interested in and advocate some like aspects and of course under the umbrella of the big topic of the task group, and and I think the task group will kind of is a little bit flexible. Okay, they can change a little bit. So based on this, like the original goal, actually the end of the day, the task group decided to like publish like papers. There's two papers. One paper is about investigating the effects of climate change on the demand. That's the structure actions. And the other is the investigating the effects of climate change on the capacities about the materials property and the structure performance. And by leveraging these two papers preparation, I think we kind of like achieve like at least a good portion of the original goal. And also the first paper has won the IABSE like 2023 Outstanding Paper Award. And then, and a kind of meantime, like I joined another task group. That's task group 3.1 is about the super long bridge aerodynamics. And the goal is really to define a standard in validating the software for computational of the bridge response to the turbulent wind. This task group is still on still online, and then but I kind of like were towards the end of this task group. But there is a discussion we may kind of proposed and renew the goal so that we can keep this momentum among all those task group members. So essentially, if we want to define a standard, I think the among the development of this task group activities, and then we decided to publish a series of papers is about the benchmark. So we until now we published like 3 papers. Mainly this task group has been led by Professor George Diana, and several other colleagues from the industry. And our latest paper has won the IABSE 2024 Outstanding Paper Award. So you see, my past experience with the task groups actually is quite good and very productive. And my personal, I really enjoyed the task group, not only the outcome, the product, the recognitions, but more importantly is during my involvement and during this task group actually can achieve like something each individual cannot achieve. So currently, most of my effort is the task group 3.10. That's the AI integration, and that's the task group is led by Dr. Xiaomeng Wang, and so this task group is just a kind of for beginning. I would say just the early stage. So we still welcome new members, and anyone is interested in the AI and the AI application in the bridge structure engineering is really welcome to contact the Dr. Xiaomeng Wang, or you can simply contact me, and then I can forward your interest, your information to our chair. So the major purpose of this task group is that, of course, we know the AI is rapidly evolving and brings deep revolution of this industry, AEC community, And the previous days task group 3.6, and the big achievement is to establish the AI in AEC conference series. That's in, I think, in like Finland, I think, if I remember correctly. And then for this task group, we aim to establish a global and a systematic approach to prepare the entire engineering community, most especially is the bridge and the structural engineering community, for the transition to AI era. So there are three phases. First is digitalization of the knowledge, and the second is automation of the design process. The last, hopefully, is the AI assistant design that would be used like generative AI, like agentic AI, to help the decision making during the design process. So there is like a value chain, and starting from the project planning stage and until the like structured design, construction, operation, and the maintenance, and the retrofitting, and then last is the circular economy. And then each stage can be kind of enhanced or improved by AI. We can leverage the AI, like the powerful like tools. And the scope of task group, we have three tasks. The last task is optional. Hopefully we can achieve, but we may feel like a little bit too ambitious. So we will focus on the first two task group first. First is the review, the state of art. Second is the digitalization of the knowledge, and especially based on the IABSE database and the other public database. And now the expected outcome is one for the task one is a review paper. For task two is the digitalization of knowledge that will be a tool so that people can use. And now that's the member list again, and we are still very welcome all the like new members. So and we please contact me or directly to the chair, Dr. Chang Wang, if you are interested in this initiative. So currently, our review work has been a little bit like delayed. We're supposed to have a revision and updating of our first draft, but actually we're still in the kind of preparing our first draft. So that's the right time to join in and to contribute your like time and effort and your like the expertise in the relevant domain. And I will skip this review like details. And the second task would be the digitalization of knowledge. And this is we are really just starting the stage yet. So we kind of define the paradigm of knowledge modeling, and we are in the process of to define the taxonomy, and that's also is just initiated this effort, and we still have a lots of things to do, and we welcome new contributions. So that's pretty much all for these three task groups, and I'm happy to answer any questions if any.
Great. Thank you so much, Tang. A real good overview of the various task groups. And we can take questions on the chat. We'll get to them as we can. But let's move on with the next presentation by Alp Kanner on bearings and joints. If you're ready, Alp, to share your screen.
Yes, I will try.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do this. Oops.
Right.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yep, we can.
Well, good afternoon. And yeah, thanks for organizing this, Maria, this event. Definitely, it will help in many ways. So I think I am the chair for bearing and joints till like 2018. That's what I remember. It has been a long time, and during the COVID time, we couldn't do much. And let me try this one. Yes. So we try to meet. We're a small group. active small group. Like in 2025, um, after so many years, we tried to meet in Tokyo symposium. So we were like 4 people there, and then we did a core meeting, online meeting, and Nicolin and Deniz and Martin just talk about what can be done with the bearing and joints group, what is our next missions, and so on. And what we have done in the past during like last 5 years is like there was a book, Bridge Construction Methods, SP1, and we provided a chapter for that. Like it is on bearing and joints installation. It is more about construction problems and how the bearings should be installed. So this is something that we did. And in 2025, basically these are our discussions. Like I think we need more members and more participation in our group. And one discussion was about organizing online IABSE forums and invite experienced speakers to share lessons learned from the past. And this can be on topics of construction, design, testing, and identify uncertainties in temperature and other parameters. And platform can be also the IABSE Academia to do this. And we have this group has published a book before, like 20 years ago, and I know Martin has a hard copy, and I have an online copy. This can be downloaded free by the members, but we want to update this one basically, and our plan is to do couple of forums and speakers, so we get information from them and then organize the material and place it, and then at the end we are going to have a workshop. And of course we can always try to publish at the ACI journal all these results. And the next thing we are looking for is speakers. Basically the speakers can be talking on the bearing and joints. Of course, there are many topics. I just wrote some selection here, like uncertainties in design. The special thing that we are talking this year is about temperature. Like each country has a different temperature criteria and not set, and that creates a problem. And time-dependent effects, seismic loads, and are important. Lessons learned in construction, factory and performance tests, certifications, unique problems with solutions, maybe one other topic that may be interest. And of course, this is the book, the cover page of the book, Structural Bearings and Expansion Joints for Bridges. And we want to have this updated. And so we need new members for the group and new organization, definitely. And what are the topics in this book is like there's introduction, role of bearings, general types, layout of bearings, calculations, construction of bearings, materials, analysis, installation of bearings, inspection and maintenance, replacement of bearings, codes and standards, and references. So it is in this very first 40 pages, this book briefly talks about these topics. And when you look into the book, you can see the some special cases. Let's say you have a bearing and the bridge is straight, but then if the bridge is on slope, then how are you going to do this bearing installation? And these are the topics that has been discussed in this book. And variable loads, like in bearing design, you see that there are at least like 20 loads here, and how at what stage or what are the important things are discussed in this book. And the bearing movements, like the book also describes like the rotation, displacements, and so on. And when it comes to expansion joints, like these are the topics, the role of expansion joint calculation, construction, materials analysis, which is very similar to the bearings, installation, inspection, and maintenance. So, and then talks about the typical movements for design of this expansion joint, and also the effect of the non-uniform temperature on the bridge. This is the plan view, so the bridge doesn't have to not only elongate in the long-term direction, but there may be some transverse displacements. And then, of course, dynamic loads on joints, like when the wheel comes on this joint, what happens to all this system needs to be looked into. And this book briefly talks about that. And of course, our future plan is like at the end of all these webinars, we want to do a workshop in one of the conferences. And of course, the ultimate goal is to publish an article, and definitely. So thank you. And if you want to become a member, this is my email. You can just email me. And thanks for having me today. Thanks, Maria.
Thank you. Very great presentation, and certainly that SCD would be a very valuable, I mean, an update of that SCD would be very valuable. So thank you for tackling that task, and I hope you get people to join you and help.
Oh, thank you, Maria, for your support.
Of course.
Can you raise
Yeah.
can one raise one's hand here, or can I
Yeah,
jump into the
absolutely.
comment?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Of course.
I would just say to Albert, it's very nice that you have these activities with the bearings and joints. Remember to write terms of reference and the objectives and have it published on the web page, because that's a way that our members can see what is going on. So I would say you should. You're already very far in the process, so I think you should be able to write this introduction about the objectives, the scope, and the output for this task group.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
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 I will contact you regarding that.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, perhaps you should contact the chair of the commission, but you're welcome to contact me too. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
find it.
yeah,
I will
yeah.
contact the commission. Thank
Then
you.
I just had one comment also to Tengmu. You said about the continuation of task group 3.1. It was right that I said that the task groups are only 3 to 4 years, and task group 3.1 has continued for somewhat longer time. But we would not scare away people which are active. So I think it is a question of reformulating the goals and having an active goal, and then you can continue this task group.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I
Yeah,
would kind of pass this message, actually good message to you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And then we had a question on the comment page there, how we can qualify to join a task group. There is not much qualifications needed. Well, you just need to have some knowledge about the topic and an interest in joining, and then you can actually just contact the chair of the task group. You can send a copy to the chair of the commission, or to Maria and or to me, but you can actually just join them. It may be difficult if the task group is just finalizing the things. Then they may say, well, okay, we already done. But in many other cases, they will very much welcome that you will come and contribute to the work in the task group.
Great. Thank you, Ninos. Yeah, that's great. Good. So let's move on with the next presentation by Matt Carter from Arup. And Matt is going to talk about ship collision with bridges, the task group on ship collision.
Okay, thanks, Maria. Can people
Yeah,
hear me okay?
absolutely. Yes. And we see your
Alrighty.
screen as well.
So
Yeah.
yeah, let me try and get this going.
Great.
Yeah, thank you. So, hi, Matt Carter. I'm a member of Task Group 113, Ship Collision with Bridges. And our task group was formed shortly after the collapse of the Francis Scott Key Bridge, which I think everyone in the US is familiar with. And that obviously shone a spotlight on this topic. And the task group has a fairly simple mission statement, which is to update structural engineering document 4. So similar to what Alp was describing, I think these are fantastic reference documents. There's several of them, as well as this one. I quite like. There's one on cable vibrations. There's a good one on design for robustness and many others. So the objective is to update this green book. And really, a lot of the original research that went on into vessel collision was quite groundbreaking. It was carried out in the 1980s after the collapse of the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, also here in the US, with 35 fatalities. And it developed probabilistic risk-based approaches. So that research took place in both the US and Europe, and it led to, in 1991, AASHTO publishing the first guide specification for vessel collision design of highway bridges. That was republished in 2009, but all of the underlying calculations and risk basis is unchanged since 1991. And then a couple of years thereafter, IABSE published Structural Engineering Document 4, Ship Collision with Bridges, which has been a very popular document ever since. At the time in Europe, a lot of the research that was going on was also related to the design of the Great Belt Bridge. And so a lot of that was captured in SED4, as well as the work that was done in the US leading up to the AASHTO guide spec. The 1980s was quite a long time ago and things have changed. I like to use this image. On the left is the first computer that my family had in the 1980s. And on the right is the SD card that I stick in my drone when I'm shooting e-foiling videos. The one on the right has 16 million times the capacity of the one on the left. In today's prices, it would cost $57 billion to buy that many Commodore PETs, which is the GDP of Croatia. So it probably makes sense that after all this time, we might take another look at updating research and reference books. I really came to use SED4 a lot in the design of Queensferry Crossing in Scotland, which was the first long span bridge in the UK to be designed to the Euro codes. And amongst other things, one of the things that I got really involved in was the vessel collision design there. And in contrast to AASHTO, where everything is codified, in the Eurocode, many things are not set out in detail. So you do have to turn to external references. And SED4 is a fantastic book for helping you understand and build up a good basis of all of the different things that go on in a vessel collision study. I'd say it's also really relevant to US practitioners as well. Although AASHTO is a fully codified standard, it is very useful to be able to understand the broader aspects of the topic. Here's our membership. It's quite a good, diverse international group. I won't go through everybody. Niels, we have on the call. He's a member there. We've got folk from COWI who were involved, or their firm was involved in Great Belt back in the day, so that ties back to a lot of that original research. We've got Pedersen and Kuntz who are involved in the development of vessel collision in Eurocode. A good contingent from the US. Gary Consolazio has done some incredible groundbreaking research using both physical impacts and finite element analysis of barge collisions, which are very important in our inland waterways here in the US. Mike Knott is the lead author of the original AASHTO vessel collision guide specification. Mike Winters, his right-hand man for many years. Myself, I'm a practitioner. As I say, I've been involved in vessel collision analyses to both Eurocode and AASHTO. So it's a good group. This is some of the areas where research has progressed in the last intervening decades, not all of the areas, but there's many things that have progressed onwards, which we want to include in this update. And where we are at the moment, we've established the expected content of the new book, which is by and large in line with the content of the old book, but with a couple of additional chapters. We do want to make sure that it's clear that it's relevant to assessment of existing bridges, not just design of new bridges, because that's definitely something that's on a lot of people's minds right now. Chapters have been assigned to lead authors and support authors, and first drafts of most of the chapters have been prepared. At the IABSE Congress in Ghent this summer, the task group got together in person. We typically have online meetings every 2 months approximately, and we also presented a synthesis of the work done to date at the Congress. So right now the objective is finalizing the first draft of the complete book, and once it is finalized, then we'll go through the different editing cycles and would be looking to publicize it so that people know what's in it. And we hope it will continue to be a great reference. It still is a good reference right now, but it needs that update to sort of bring in all the more recent research. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Matt. That was a very lively presentation, and I hope you get more interest as well. So let's move on with the next speaker, who's Adriana Trias from Rowan College here in New Jersey on the remote inspection of bridges.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great.
We can see you well.
Yeah,
Great. Thank you.
Great. Can you see my shared screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. So yeah, thank you everyone for attending this webinar. I'm going to speak in the name of Task Group 5.9, which is related to remote inspection of bridges. So our chair is Diogo Ribeiro from Portugal, and vice chair is Anna Rekosi from Poland. We have a quite extended group, like with a lot of participants and with variations from different parts of the world. I'm in the USA, as Maria Grazia just mentioned. I'm an assistant professor at Rowan University in New Jersey, and I've been with the group for, I think I started like 3 months after it initiated its tasks, so almost since the beginning. So talking a little bit about what we do, our mission and goals is to disseminate the state of the art of condition assessment of bridges, like technologies or remote sensing for the condition assessment of bridges, mainly through the implementation of intelligent inspection strategies. So since the initiation of the task group, we focused on 3 main tasks. So the first task was the state of the art in the field of remote inspection of bridges. We met and we discussed how we could tackle this first objective, and we set up an initial objective of 8 months to tackle this first task, with the good luck to have a lot of information to disseminate. So we ended up splitting task 1 into 2 different journal papers, which are already published. Then task 2 would come right after task 1, best practices framework for remote inspection of bridges. This will transform into structural engineering documents, as Matt was just referring to. These are, we were able to convert the task 2 into 3 different documents that are, again, with the good luck that we have a lot of information to disseminate. So it has taken some time, but we're getting there. And they should be not published, but at least submitted in the upcoming weeks. And then finalizing tasks with task 3, which are case studies. We ended up choosing 2 case studies that we want to disseminate also by the end of the life of the task group. Initially, we set up a 3-year work plan. We now are envisioned to extend this due date to March of 2026. And so we are almost at the end of our service life, but we are already discussing how we can transform move on with the participants that we have right now. A lot of people are interested in remote inspection of bridges, remote sensing. So we want to create a new task group that can, that relates to this topic. In particular, we were set to meet every 3 months. Those were our regular meetings where everyone would participate, just to talk about let's say, the state of the union of what we're doing at the moment. And we also held exceptional meetings depending on the tasks that we were working on. You would only meet with, let's say, members of task 1 or task 2 or 3, depending on the deadline, depending on the amount of work that needed to be done. So these would go on a case-by-case basis. But I would say, for example, for task 2, the last year we met every month and a half. So quite active. It was, the outcomes were very fruitful, but it required some effort from the members, right? Let's see what else. Here we go. Okay, so just a little bit of a review or summarizing the outcomes of the task group. We have already 2 publications. One, Technologies and Platforms for Remote and Autonomous Bridge Inspections, a review of different technologies that are involved for this matter. That was published in Structural Engineering International. And we also have a journal on methodologies for remote bridge inspection. Again, a review. Each task member collaborated or dropped in some information that we were able to assemble these 2 journal papers. We had participation in 2 conferences, one, the IABSE Congress in 2024 in Costa Rica, and we also proposed a mini symposium on the ASCE EMI, the Engineering Mechanics Institute in Anaheim in the 2025, May of 2025. As I mentioned before, we still have some tasks that are ongoing. In preparation, we have the 3 structural engineering documents. You can see the preliminary titles in there for task 2.1, 2.2, and 2.3. And we are also working on the case studies that we want to disseminate these actual applications, real world applications of all the technologies and platform and methodologies that we discussed in our previous publications. Okay, and I think, with that, I pass the torch to the next speaker. My email is on the bottom right of this slide. Feel free to reach out to me if you want me to, pass on information for whenever this task group becomes a new task group with a new mission and objectives, or if you're interested in collaborating right away, if we can plug in some information that might interest the upcoming deliverables, we'll be more than welcome to.
Hey, thank you, Adriana. That was very good. I do have a question for you, but I'll keep it for the end.
Okay.
So Our next speaker is John Dunteman from West Cheney, and he's also a board member for IABSE USA. So, John, when you're ready.
Thank you, Maria Grazia.
Mm.
1 second, I want to get in the presentation mode. It's a pleasure being here tonight or today. My name is John Dunteman. I'm a senior principal at a firm in the United States, Wisciani Elstner Associates. And I've been an IABSE member since 2006, which is slightly longer than my American Express card. Just a little bit of background. The task group 5.1 is on forensic structural engineering. That's basically the nature of my practice in the United States and throughout the world, which is my interest in this committee. And I was past chair of the IABSE TG 5.1. And so I'd like to just share a little bit of my experience with that committee, with this group. As some of the previous speakers outlined, IABSE, or at least the commissions and the task groups, are organized in 6 categories. TG 5.1, which is highlighted at the top there, forensic structural engineering, is part of Commission 5. As Adriana, Professor Trias just indicated, her group or her task group is also part of Commission 5. The current organizational structure of the TGs and the working commissions is such that we have defined tenures, but previous to that organizational structure, or actually TG 5.1 existed prior to that. So we've actually had a very good core group that has been working together, producing the documents and doing the important work of the task group for a much longer period of time. It's been in excess of 10, 12 years. So the mission statement of TG 5.1 is shown here. It's basically sharing knowledge of technical, human, and organizational causes of failures, and also sharing the investigation methods and techniques that can be used to investigate these failures. The objective is to mitigate future failures, enhance the improvement of forensic practices, create or generate interest in the practice of forensic structural engineering within the IABSE community and beyond, and then promote the collaboration between the international experts that participate in IABSE and beyond. Our current start date for this for TG 5.1 was in September of 2022, and our targeted completion date is next year, September 2026. But as I stated previously, we've been this task group has existed in its prior form prior to 2022. Here's our current members. Our chair is Carl Terrell. Our vice chair is Laurent Russ. And like many of the other task groups and commissions that have been previewed here, you can see that there's representation from essentially all over the world. Europe, the US, Central America, South America, Asia. There is an effort and continuing effort on the part of the TG to get more, more international or more representations from areas of the world that we currently are not as well represented as we'd like to be. Carl Terrell, our current chair, is the 3rd chair of TG 5.1. I was the recent past chair of 5.1. And our original founding chair was a Robert Rattay, internationally known, prominent, very well-regarded forensic structural engineer. The scope and limitations of this RTG was defined actually by Robert Rattay back in 2009. It's the professional practice of determining the cause or causes of failure of constructed facilities, and determining the technical basis for identifying the parties responsible for failures. Just as a general definition, we've as part of our working document here, or our working commission, we define failure as a state or condition in which the structure cannot observably or measurably fulfill some or all of its intended functions during its service life. As I indicated earlier, the focus of TG 5.1 is the dissemination of knowledge about what causes failures and the methods used to investigate those failures. I'm going to go through now a couple slides here just to outline the activities that we've performed or conducted really since throughout the history of the TG, and more recently in this period of or this current working period. Probably one of our most prominent activities is the development of workshops, kind of one-on-one interaction with the profession, generally organized around the congresses or the symposiums. To date, we've done 70 of these workshops really throughout the world. And the topics, kind of the organization of those, the topics within the workshops are pretty similar from one workshop to the next, but just defining what is forensic structural engineering, and then identifying the steps to investigate the causes of or investigate these types of failures. And then we're pretty heavily weighted to analyzing causes, cases, and lessons learned from failures, and then talking about how to mitigate future failures. And what is really well received by the attendees or participants in these workshops is these working sessions where we actually identify a failure, go through the background, and then engage the attendees to go about contribute their thoughts about the process and the findings of these high-profile failures. We've also done a series of webinars during the pandemic. You can see by the dates here. It was particularly popular just because there wasn't the opportunity for direct interaction. And some of the topics are listed here. Bridge collapses, the practice of forensic structural engineering, seismic failures, etc. As shown by a number of the speakers here, also we've been actively publishing and editing these case studies, and here's really the 4 prominent ones that have been developed during my tenure on the TG. The story of the Carrara Bridge collapse in Palau, case studies for conservation and seismic retrofitting of existing structures, the investigation of the Chirachara bridge collapse in Colombia, and then that case study 4 is our most recent publication, which identifies several case studies and corresponding to structural and geotechnical engineering failures. And then also periodically the SCI, the Structural Engineering International Journal, we've contributed to 3 specific journals where they're specifically focused on forensic structural engineering and forensic practice. And that's an ongoing activity. Takes a lot of effort to get these together, a lot of coordination, but we try to do them about every 7 to 10 years max. And finally, something that's kind of still being developed within IABSE is the IABSE Academy. Members of TG 5.1 and the Working Commission 5 were instrumental in developing this academy, at least the curriculum, particularly as it relates to forensic engineering, which you can see here under the broad category of existing structures, which, as noted earlier, is the topic of Working Commission 5. That's a work in progress, and a number of the people identified earlier, active members of TG 5.1, have contributed to that effort, and we look forward to here in the next year or so to roll that out, at least the forensic part of it, roll it out, and have the continue to contribute to that program. So that's all I have under the topic of TG 5.1. So if there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Great. Thank you so much, John. Let's hold the questions a little bit longer, and we're going to listen to our last speaker of tonight, Dr. Costas Kalfas, who's going to talk about the improving task group 1.1, improving seismic resilience of reinforced concrete structures.
Hi.
So
Hi,
take
everyone.
it away.
Hi, Maria. Thank you for the introduction and for organizing this event. Give me 1 second. Wait. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
So I am part of a task group 1.1 on improving seismic resilience of reinforced concrete structures. Currently, I'm an assistant professor in structural engineering at Texas State University. At the bottom left, you can see a QR code that drives you directly to the web page of our task group. So task group 1.1 operates under the umbrella of Commission 1, Performance and Requirements, where there are 15 task groups. Currently, we are 23 active members, including one chair and one vice chair from 15 countries. So you can see we are a wide a group that operates everywhere in the world. I think the only continent that is not part of our group, there are no people from Africa, if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, there are people from all continents, which is nice and we like because we collaborate. And of course, there are people from the industry and from the academia, and of course, in different stages of our careers, which is always good to have such a group of people. The normal term is 2 to 3 years, depending on the projects and on the progress, and of course, on the interest of the members. If I am not mistaken, this is the second term of Task Group 1.1. I joined them 1.5 years ago. This is the mission statement of our group. So we gather and we work together to provide a platform to exchange knowledge and provoke understanding in earthquake resilient design, vulnerability and strengthening techniques for existing reinforced concrete structures. And you will see in a few minutes in my slides what we have produced so far and how we try to accommodate this statement. These are the objectives of our group. So we want to develop practical guidelines for the design of strengthened elements. We want to develop novel strengthening techniques in reinforced concrete structures. We try through the collaboration between the people who work in the academia and in the industry to provide advice and support activities for the mitigation and reduction of seismic hazard in reinforced concrete structures. We produce similarly to what the other task groups do research output in the field of seismic strengthening for reinforced concrete structures. We organize special sessions and workshops in IABSE events like symposia, congresses, and conferences. And through our task group, we try to provide a forum where the practitioners will collaborate with the researchers together with advancing the education of engineers. So far, this is what the group has produced. These are documents that have been produced from the previous term. We produced a case study, case studies on conservation and seismic strengthening and retrofitting of existing structures, and two green books, structural engineering documents, number 16 and 19. On characteristic seismic failures of buildings and seismic isolation and response control. So all these three documents are already published and can be found in IABSE web page. And currently, as a group, in the current form that we have of 23 members, we work on different research papers. We have formed subgroups. There are 4 subgroups where we work on different research papers. Each group consists from 3 to 6 or 7 people, depending on the interests and on the availability of each one of us. So currently we work on the use of novel high-performance concrete materials for strengthening of existing structures. We also, some of us work on the evaluation of different strengthening techniques for reinforced concrete structures, on non-destructive techniques for the detection of reinforced concrete defects, and on the evaluation of numerical methods for resilience quantification of reinforced concrete structures. And 6 members of the 23 are also participating in the IABSE Academy in the earthquake engineering curriculum, where we develop short lectures on earthquake engineering interest for the IABSE Academy, which, if I'm not mistaken, is not on but it will be on in a few months or next year. This is it from my side. I hope I did not exceed the 3-minute limit, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you did great. So I'd like to open the floor to questions from anybody who wants to interact. And I will start with my question if there are no others. I'm sorry. This is for Adriana, but also maybe for Costas. What percentage of the task group is academia, and what percentage more on the consultant or construction side?
Can respond since I spoke last for the task group that I represent in this event. I would say almost half and half.
Good.
More or less. But of course, the involvement depends on the availability of each one of us. In some cases and in some periods, some of the people who work in the academia are not that involved, and others who work in the industry are more involved, and it changes. But in task group 1.1, I think it is half and half.
Good. How about you, Adriana?
Yeah, in my case, I don't know an exact percentage. I would say that more than half, or the great majority, is from academia. Yeah, I can go through which countries we cover, but I don't have the information regarding academia or industry. But from all the meetings that I've been to, and all my participations in the publications, the great majority is from academia.
Yeah. Thank you. How about you, Matt? In your case, What do you
I'd
see?
say it's about half and half between academia and practitioners. Yeah.
Good. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I know someone was asking how to join. I put the information on the chat. And I think it's important also that we really stress the availability of the documents that are produced by the task groups and their use in our, designs and research.
Can I add something here?
Yes.
To add to the question on how one can join. So I think that the best approach to this is to send an email. As one mentioned, I don't remember, I think it was Niels who said that this is what I did. And I assume most of us, if not all of us, this is what we did. But don't get discouraged. I mean, sometimes maybe we have other jobs, so the response might take some days, or maybe we lose this email. These things happen. And also the involvement in each group, because I'm also a member of task group 4.1, and how active each group is, it changes and it varies. Maybe there is a year that the group is not that active. So these are things that one should consider and not get discouraged. This could happen. I mean, this is normal.
I have another question. What is the biggest challenge that your task group has right now? I don't know if who wants to tackle that question, who sees challenges in their activities. I guess everything is working very, very well.
I would say a challenge is editing the documents. Once you get all that beautiful information from every collaborator, everyone in the group, then making sure that the document is cohesive, that it reads well, address comments, things like that. I think that's the main challenge. Reaching out to every member to collaborate is not a problem. If people are there, they want to participate, they want to collaborate, they want to publish, and get the word out of the things that happen in the group. But then making sure that the document comes out in the right way. I think that's one of the challenges.
Yeah, and I think we also often have a challenge, I think, with busyness is like, getting the time to actually set everything down in detail. Niels is smiling because he's part of this task group as well. Yeah.
I imagine with people from all over the country, all over the world, I mean, even finding the time to meet, that must be quite challenging as well.
Yeah. Maria, I had just a small comment. Let's take a picture of us before too many people are leaving. Yeah.
Oh gosh,
So,
I was
yeah.
supposed to do that. I'm glad you remembered.
Before
So let me.
I did have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
But we can have a question even with have pictures on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So my question was, let's say like I guess like this is more for younger engineers. Let's say like there's a task group that you're interested in, but you have minimal knowledge or in some cases no knowledge. How would you, even sending an email, I think about how there may be a subject of interest, but a younger engineer might say, "Oh, I have no knowledge in that," so they might not accept me. I guess how would that be addressed? Should they still send the email and or get more knowledge before? I guess that's something that I was thinking about and I wanted to ask.
Mm. I think that the task group would like that you could contribute with something at least. So some knowledge, I think, would be required. But interest is already a good start.
Thank you.
And the task groups, they all, I think, try to maintain some balance as far as the participation from one country to the next. Absolutely, the in-person meetings tend to, and the young engineers, the YEC or the YEP program is a great way to network. But also now, particularly since the pandemic, all of these task groups meet virtually and sometimes very often. Some groups meet more often than others. But I think if you reach out directly to the task group or the working commission, they'd be very, generally very receptive to at least having you participate.
And a lot of times there are certain activities where you need someone to do the running around, gathering the documents, and maybe doing work that doesn't necessarily require very specific knowledge, but it requires the time and the availability and the interest to do it and to learn. So my suggestion is not be shy. And there are other things like you may be able to to be the bridge between the task group and other experts in the field that you may know at the company where you work at, or through other professional connections. And so there are many ways you can contribute to a task group, and so don't be shy to offer. Yeah. And by the way, you've been doing a great job putting together this very event, and the advertising and all the emails and everything. So I'm really grateful that you have been involved with the national group to make things happen. So,
Thank you.
yeah. And same goes for Rudy, who I see there, and not the smiling face, but at least the name. And Rudy helped us with the organization of a previous event. Going back to task groups, any other questions? Or... Okay. All right. Well, I know that it's almost going on to 2 hours, not quite yet, but we've been on for a little while. So I want to thank everybody for attending, particularly
What about the picture, Maria?
Oh,
The
I took the picture.
Yeah.
I took the picture.
But some of them
Oh,
didn't put
sorry.
their faces on, so
You're
we would
right.
like to,
You're right.
yeah.
Let's do it again. I took a couple. I think I got most people, but if everybody can get on camera, that'd be great. And I'll give it another minute. Yeah. Oh, Martin, Alicia, Joseph, Tom, and Juan Carlos. I'm not sure whether you're able to get on camera or not. Maybe not. Oh, there you are.
Yes.
Yeah. Good to meet you, Alicia. We corresponded some weeks ago or some months ago. I don't know. Yeah. All right. One more. Oh gosh. Everybody smile. This will make Brenda happy there. Okay, thank you.
Good.
I'll share the picture
Thank
later.
you.
Thank you for remembering, Niels. I have that in the back of my mind that I forgot. All right. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone. If you have any questions later, reach out to any of us.
Yes, keep in contact. Thank you.
All right. And thank you,
Thank you
Niels,
very
for
much.
Have a good
staying up
evening.
late.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
Take
bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Have a good
everyone.
one. Bye-bye.